Caleb Williams is officially a Bear, and it's time to give some predictions for what he could do in his rookie year. Could he break all the Bears records in his first year? Certainly possible. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears prediction video, which I'll be doing throughout this entire offseason. Now that the main offseason activities are over, all my videos are mainly going to be speculation videos, prediction videos, discussion videos, talking about the upcoming season, because we won't have much news going on until training camp in middle of July. So kind of sucks we have no Bears news for a while, but I'll still be coming out with a lot of videos for you guys. And in this video, I kind of want to talk about my stat predictions for Caleb's rookie year. And obviously, stats are not everything in the NFL. Like, the film tells a much better story than the stats do most of the time, and outside factors can contribute into a player's stats looking better or worse than they actually should be. So don't take this video too seriously, but I do think, you know, it's good to get a baseline of what we should be expecting out of Caleb from a production standpoint, because the surrounding situation around Caleb Williams is the best it's ever been around any Bears quarterback ever. Okay, no Bears quarterback has had basically 3 number 1 receivers, you know, like Caleb does right now, a solid tight end Nicole Kmet, a pretty decent offensive line. I'm not going to call it like elite or great, but I think it's pretty decent right now, has the potential to be, you know, pretty good. You got solid running backs in DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Roschon Johnson. You got an experienced play caller in Shane Waldron, who already has had experience working with other quarterbacks, you know, like a Drew Lock, like a Geno Smith, helping turn around the career of a Geno Smith, right? So there aren't as many excuses available to Caleb as there have been for other Bears rookie quarterbacks if he does not live up to expectations. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm a big Caleb fan. I think he is going to fully live up to expectations, but we do have to set, I feel like, a baseline for what is reasonable to expect out of him with a supporting cast this good, but also keeping into mind that he is still going to be a rookie quarterback. No matter how good of a prospect you are, there is always a learning curve going from college football to the NFL, and every quarterback learns that learning curve at a different rate. Okay, some guys like CJ Stroud, they're good right away. Other guys like, you know, Josh Allen, like Drew Brees, it takes them a little bit of time. So I'm not totally sure where Caleb is in terms of readiness for the NFL, but if I had to guess, I think he is definitely the most pro-ready quarterback the Bears have drafted, and also the most pro-ready quarterback available in this class, simply because he's coming from a system, a Lincoln Riley offense, that's produced multiple great quarterbacks in their rookie years. Okay, Baker Mayfield had a fantastic rookie year. Kyler Murray also had a fantastic rookie year. Jalen Hurts had a decent rookie year, not a great one, actually, I think Jalen Hurts was on the bench during his rookie year because Carson Wentz was playing back then, but he did play a little bit here and there, and his second year, you know, played pretty decently, right? So if you look at Lincoln Riley's previous quarterbacks, they have translated into the NFL pretty well. Okay, you can say what you want about Baker, about Jalen Hurts, these guys, but they are definitely starting level quarterbacks in the NFL. And Caleb is the best quarterback prospect that Lincoln Riley has ever had, and he was the best at the college level. If you look at his stats in college football, Caleb Williams, he had over 735 passing attempts in college football, much higher than a Justin Fields or a Mitch Trubisky, who are more rawer prospects that the Bears drafted. Okay, I think Caleb is very pro-ready. He's been named the best quarterback in the class for the past 2.5 years now, and did really good at the college level. He had to carry some very bad offenses too in terms of supporting cast. Okay, last year, the USC offense only had 6th and 7th round talent in that receiver room. Okay, both Brendan Rice and Todd Washington went very late in the NFL draft. NFL teams did not like them that much, and Caleb had to work with them all of last year. His offensive line also was not drafted very highly. His running back, Marshawn Lloyd, did get drafted in the 3rd round by the Green Bay Packers, but still, it was not a good supporting cast. The defense was one of the worst in college football. He had to consistently carry a defense that was working against him. So it's just so different right now, because all the other quarterbacks we have had a much better situation in college as compared to with the Chicago Bears, where with Caleb Williams, he has a much better situation with the Chicago Bears than he did in college football, but he was still good in college football. So that makes me very optimistic when predicting Caleb Williams stats, and that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. So I'll be giving you guys my actual prediction, then also a low-end prediction and a high-end prediction if things go better than expected or worse than expected. But getting to my actual prediction, okay, what are my actual stat predictions for Caleb Williams? And this is only if he stays healthy for at least 16 games, okay? I think, obviously if we're predicting injuries, like that's kind of hard to do. And in college football, Caleb did not really get injured, so I do not want to predict injury for him. But if he does stay healthy for at least 16 games, I think he's going to have these stats I'll put on the screen right now. So I'm predicting 3,700 passing yards, 27 passing touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 350 rushing yards, and a completion percentage of 63%. Now, I did not predict fumbles. That's kind of, I feel like, impossible to predict, and also kind of luck based too to some extent. So not predicting fumbles. Obviously, he is going to fumble here and there. In college football, he actually did have a fumbling problem last year. So hopefully Caleb can clean up the fumbles. But yeah, that's the stat line I'm predicting for him. And yes, it's a very high stat line. Okay, this would be one of the best seasons in Chicago Bears history. Completely blow past the rookie quarterback record. Okay, the rookie quarterback record is like 2,193 passing yards held by Mitch fucking Trubisky. Okay, like that's how bad our rookies have been. That Mitch, with that terrible receiver room, has our record as a rookie. Okay, so I think Caleb is going to blow past that rookie record, but he's going to be blowing past most Bears quarterback records too all time. Okay, the all-time leading passer in a single season for the Chicago Bears obviously is Eric Kramer with 3,838 passing yards. Number 2 is Jay Cutler with 3,812 passing yards. He got that in 2014. And if Caleb has this stat line I'm predicting for him in regards to passing yards, he would be number 3 all-time in Chicago Bears history in terms of single season production as a passer. Okay, so this would be a historic season from Caleb Williams, and definitely good enough to get the Chicago Bears into the playoffs, in my opinion, with how good I think our defense still can be in terms of forcing turnovers, in terms of, the run defense that we have. I think if Caleb has these stats, it's going to be a good season for the Chicago Bears. And 27 touchdowns I feel like would be pretty fair. He is going to be throwing some interceptions as a rookie. Like, that's never completely unavoidable unless you're a CJ Stroud. So I think 13 interceptions is relatively fair. I don't think that would be too bad for him. And on the ground, I'm predicting 350 rushing yards for him, which does seem, I guess, a little bit low when you see like the speed and the rushing ability that he actually has. But Caleb is not going to be running that much this season, I hope, right? Because we have fantastic receiving weapons where I would hope that Caleb does not want to escape the pocket every other play like Justin Fields did. Now, here and there, maybe he does break off a 20-yard, 30-yard run every once in a while to keep the defense honest, but I don't think it's going to be a situation like Justin Fields where Caleb is consistently having 10 plus carries a game and having 100 plus rushing yards. That's probably not going to happen because he is a pocket passing quarterback first. So that's my actual prediction. Now, going to my low end prediction, what it's going to be like if Caleb, does fall behind expectations a little bit with the supporting cast that we actually have. I'll put that on the screen right now. So on the low end, assuming he does stay healthy for at least 16 games, I'm predicting 3,300 passing yards, 22 passing touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 300 rushing yards, and a completion percentage of 59%. So yes, even on the low end, I have him getting more passing yards than Justin Fields ever had with the Chicago Bears, because the situation is so damn good where even if Caleb is not a great quarterback, I still think he's going to have at least this stat line because, guys, we have 3 number 1 receivers. Okay, at some point you could just throw the ball up to any one of them and they're probably going to make a play for you. Okay, that's what's being afforded to Caleb during his rookie year, where even if he does not play as well as I think he should, he's going to have decent stats because the guys around him will lift him up. Now, 22 touchdowns to 14 interceptions would not be a great ratio, I feel like, with, again, the supporting cast that he has. But sometimes it takes time for these quarterbacks to develop. Okay, maybe Caleb is less pro-ready than I thought and he gets off to a bad start, turns it around eventually in the middle of the season, but the bad start holds back his stats where maybe he only has this stat line. But I still think with a stat line like this, like the Bears maybe still could sneak into the playoffs assuming he does not fumble that much, because again, the Bears defense I feel like is another thing on this team that's going to help him win games even if Caleb himself is not at his best. But going to the high end now, okay, what do I think Caleb can do if he does exceed expectations for his rookie year, which the expectations are pretty high already, but what is it going to look like if he even exceeds those expectations? 4,200 passing yards, 34 passing touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 400 rushing yards, a completion percentage of 67%. So yes, on the high end, I do think Caleb is capable of breaking the 4,000 yard barrier that a Bears quarterback has never broken during his rookie year, again because of the supporting cast. That is a big thing, where if Caleb is as good as I think he can be and then some, the supporting cast is going to boost up his stats even more on top of that, because they are so freaking talented. Like, this could be the best receiving core in the NFL, in the entire freaking NFL. So yeah, 4,200 yards is possible. Okay, I think Caleb can do this. If he does stay healthy, 16 games. If he stays healthy all 17 games, this is only 247 passing yards per game. And yes, some games you're gonna have bad games and have much less than 247 passing yards, but you're also gonna have some really good games, probably maybe against some bad teams, where you do have 300 plus passing yards. Okay, I think that's definitely possible with a team like this one. So yes, Caleb could break all the Chicago Bears quarterback records in his first year, and if this actually happens, Bears fans are gonna build a statue for him immediately. Okay, with how we have been praying and praying for a quarterback in the city, a quarterback that can be productive, that can win us football games, and break that 4,000 yard barrier. If Caleb can do it in his first year, watch out, because the Chicago Bears would be a force to reckon with for a long time. So leave your comments down below. What do you guys think about my predictions? I think they are fairly realistic, especially my actual prediction of 3,700 passing yards. I know that seems high to some people, it seems low to others, but I do think this is pretty realistic when you look at what other rookie quarterbacks have done historically. Usually rookie quarterbacks do not do that well in their first year, but no rookie quarterback has ever had a situation like Caleb is walking into, so you have to take that into account as well. But I think that no matter which of these scenarios happen for the Bears, if Caleb does stay healthy and gets any of these stat lines, 3,300, 3,700, 4,200, I think the Bears should be expected to make the playoffs, because again, we have a turnover forcing defense that I think could be pretty good. Okay, I don't think it's going to be top 5 or anything, but down the stretch last year, like, they were a really damn good defense. So I do think they could be top 10, okay, maybe in the 9 to 10 range in terms of ranking among the NFL, which should be good enough to win a lot of games with the offensive supporting cast that we have. So such a fun time to be a Bears fan, man. Like, in my entire lifetime, if I'm being honest, like, I've not been as pumped up and as enthusiastic about the future as I am right now, because so much is going right. For the first time ever, I feel like Ryan Poles, our GM, has actually built a stable situation for a very talented quarterback to walk into, and hopefully good things come out of it. Leave your comments down below. As always, bear down.